Hi there. You might be wondering why I'm here. Well, it's a long story. First and foremost, I can't get enough of Salmon Run. It's a really fun mode in Splatoon 3, where you can shoot at these things called Salmonids and collect these yellow eggs. You do this for a bear boss named Mr. Grizz, who either gives you a pep talk or scolds you on the job. Just flip a coin and either he likes you or he hates you. Whatever. But as I grew more and more immersed in Salmon Run, I started to wonder how my friend Matt felt about this particular game mode in Splatoon 3. What are his thoughts about Salmon Run? How does he brave the various Salmonid locations? And how does he feel when shooting the stupid snatcher? Okay, look who it is, it's the blue-haired Tootsie Roll. Wouldn't you guys like to know too? Well, let's grab him by the tentacles and find out.
Good work, team. That should be the last of them. Huh? What is it, Ochi? You got Louis' scent? Good boy! We'll ambush him and get him to return the stolen juice. Huh? Ah! What the LBF? Can't you see I'm on a rescue mission here? Some greedy jerk stole all the Rescue Corp's food supply. Oh no. No, 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 no. No. I haven't forgotten about what happened last time. You threatened me with Fib with an abomination of a show with a bad stain on a beloved Nintendo IP. I had to get therapy after that, and even then it didn't help. Salmon Run?
Alrighty, ladies and gents, please welcome our Splatoon 3 connoisseur, our Master Splinter, our Alfred in the Splatoon world, Matt the Cat.
Okay, let's see. How do I wanna start this? I got it now. I already explained my history with the franchise back in my experience with Splatoon 3 video. But to summarize, I played the original Splatoon on Wii U back in high school, and I had a lot of fun playing it. Growing up as a Nintendo boy and constantly getting bullied by rude Xbox kids, this game encouraged me to try shooter games. Team Fortress 2 specifically.
Unfortunately, I never got to enjoy the hype surrounding the Wii and the Wii U, which was probably for the best because the Wii U was considered a failure, seeing that people thought it was nothing more than an accessory for the original Wii. But then again, can you really blame a Bowser fan for wanting to at least try their hand on Mario Party 10 solely for the Bowser Party mode? Even though that mode, according to players, is broken. Anyways, let's switch over to the Switch.
After seeing the trailer for Nintendo's brand new console, the Nintendo Switch, and catching a glimpse at a new Splatoon game, I was like, I need this. Few months later, Nintendo would post 2 new videos to promote Splatoon 2. One of them was a trailer which shows Turf War returning and a new weapon, the dualies. The other was a Nintendo Direct, the April 12th, 2017 Direct specifically, with Splatoon 2 as their last announcement. In that presentation, they showcased a brand new mode that's similar to a zombie survival mode in other first-person shooters. They called it Salmon Run. You guys have no idea how exciting it is to see a new game mode in Splatoon. This was something we've never seen before. Splatoon 3 wishes it had a new mode. When asked about the creation of Salmon Run, Hisashi Nogami, producer of the Splatoon games, said it was made to take advantage of the Nintendo Switch's portability. Given how Turf War requires 8 players to play, this gives the chance for smaller groups to engage in a local multiplayer experience, which explains why Salmon Run takes up to 4 players.
Woo! We got the Grisco Charger. Ha! Got it before you did. Running out of ink. Okay, thanks.
Haha, take that, Flyfish, you suck! Oh yeah, the vertical fling is very slow. If we take a look at Splatnet 2 and 3 on the Nintendo Switch Online app, or just check the rotations in your game, you'll see that each map and weapons is on a scheduled rotation. Fun fact! Splatoon 2 Salmon Run is only open on specific days, so if you boot up the game without knowing about the rotation, there's a chance you might not play Salmon Run because it's closed.
I guess Nintendo heard the criticism from other players because they made Salmon Run open all day in Splatoon 3. But in all seriousness, I never knew that about the original Salmon Run. Now, how does Salmon Run work?
You start by super jumping to your spawn. Depending on the rotation, you'll be given one of 4 weapons at random. While I agree that some weapons don't feel like they're built for this mode, I think this was done on purpose to add challenge to the mode. I don't think it would have been fair if they let you brought whatever weapon you wanted to play with, kinda like how Turf War works. Your only weapon is Splat Bombs. Most players prefer the burst or curling bombs, but being a Splat Bomb made myself, this is a perfect fit for my playstyle. They're also mandatory for beating a certain boss Salmonid that's the biggest bane of my existence. But we'll get to it when we talk about bosses, don't you worry. I personally like to save them for the 3rd wave, and only use them in the 1st or 2nd wave in case of an emergency.
Having random weapons is fine at certain times, but at other times, that can work against you. Because if you get a weapon that sucks, then that can hinder your gameplay and contribution to your team. Okay, what do we got? What do we got? Damn it, the Grisco Slosher! Son of a... Yeah, this is really helpful. Okay, I'll give it that. It helps me take down the Salmonid. You're also given 2 uses of a randomly selected special weapon. Unlike Turf War, where you have to get enough points to charge the meter, your special weapons in Salmon Run are ready to use at any time. But use them wisely, because you only get 2 of them.
Anyways, the goal is simple. Defeat the boss Salmonids, collect their golden eggs, take them to the basket, and reach your quota within the time limit. If you manage to do that in all 3 waves, you win.
Oh yeah, and you gotta make sure that everyone on your team is okay. If a player gets splatted, they'll come back as a lifesaver ring, and they can only be revived by another player who's still in the game. To revive someone, either splat them with your weapon, or throw a splat bomb near them. Well, that's easier said than done.
If you don't have enough eggs before time is up, or if all players get eliminated, you lose. Though that begs a lot of questions. Why does Mr. Grizz want all those golden eggs in the first place? What does it mean when the marketing of Grizzco says a brighter or better future? And what's with all the cooking utensils slapped on the maps and Salmonids? There's an answer for all of them in the lore, but I'm gonna need some time to present it. BRB!
Okay, while we wait for Matt to come back, I might as well tell you guys about the Big Run event. And I give that event credit for helping me get better and better in Salmon Run. During the campaign, when you load the game, you see a red sky with helicopters hovering above. Shiver, Fry, and Big Man from Deep Cut report on Big Run and where it's taking place, which in this case was in Eeltail Alley, had been transformed into an apocalyptic playground for the Salmonids. big and small, but mostly big due to the king Salmonids. It's like Larry Boy and the Fit from Outer Space all over again. And that raises the question, wouldn't it be cool if Splatoon 3 made Big Run permanent? In other words, why not a game mode where you just have to survive waves and waves of Salmonids for a certain amount of time? You know, a survival mode? Adding a survival mode in Salmon Run can really spice up the gameplay, like hot sauce on delicious tacos from Taco Bell.
Well, allow me to spice things up with some spicy lore. What? But, what? Oh, that's just a slide projector and a bed sheet.
Yep.
Is that all you really have?
Yep.
At first glance, the Salmonids may look like animals you find in the wild, but it turns out they are fully sentient and intelligent creatures. They just prefer to give into their instincts, unlike the Inklings and Octolings, who adapt into living out of the water and becoming human-like. They're not evil, but they multiply fast and move into Inkling territory to destroy it. We even see this happen in the Big Run events, but more on that later. So if these guys are not evil, does that mean we are the bad guys for killing them? Well, not exactly. While killing these creatures may be evil, they don't actually fear death. In fact, they like being killed.
Ooh, more guests for my party.
I should also point out the cooking utensils that are decorated in the maps. Spoons, forks, burners, frying pans. There's even giant buoys in the background that are decorated with food, like corn, sausages, kiwi. The list goes on. The Salmonids themselves use frying pans as their main weapon. The Stinger controls a machine made out of cooking pots and a gas burner, and the chin hooks during the mothership wave carry what looks like to be a styrofoam cooler. It turns out these food-related weapons and environment set pieces symbolize their belief of being delicious to eat. Yeah, they present themselves with food themes because they believe getting eaten is an honorable way to die. Don't believe me? Let's take a look at the griller. These enemies are only exclusive to a Nightwave. And while you are fighting them, the Salmonids inside the machine are cooking themselves alive. It's impossible to see this unless you clip the camera, but they even add vegetables inside the chamber with them. Now do you think this game is for kids?
I don't know, Matt. Is it?
Why is he here? Oh, okay. The Scrapper is an enemy that uses a car-like vehicle to run over the Inklings. Shoot it long enough and you'll disable his shield, and you might hear a familiar jingle. For those of you who played the campaign modes from Splatoon 1 and 2, you'll recognize this as the Octo Valley Jingle, where you collect a Zapfish to finish a level. Now what this means is the Octarians and the Salmonids struck a little deal. The Salmonids give the Octarians their eggs to power their machines, which explains why you collect eggs when defeating the Octarian enemies, and in return, the Octarians will make custom technology for the Salmonids, which explains the weird wacky designs for the flyfish, steel eel, stinger, and scrapper mentioned before.
Oh, so that's why some of these Salmonids ride silly contraptions, and that's why Snatchers ride those silly propeller clown cars. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Snatcher.
Yeah, every time you defeat a Salmonid, you take away their power eggs, so they won't give them to the Octarians to power their weapons. However, the Salmonids won't give the Octarians their golden eggs, most likely because they are fertilized. Notice the little fish inside? They need the golden eggs to hatch more Salmonids, and they will only give them to the Octarians as a last-minute resort. Kinda like geese being overprotective to their goslings. Okay, now let's talk about Mr. Grizz. To explain his side, let's dive into the Alterna logs in the Splatoon 3 campaign. Oh, I should probably say this now. Spoilers for Splatoon 3 story mode. If you haven't played it yet, I highly recommend beating it before watching this. Alright, let's talk about human extinction. For those of you who are unfamiliar, Splatoon takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where humans gone extinct on Earth. The cause of the extinction is due to sea levels rising and consuming every part of land. For 2 whole games, that's all we knew. Humans died because of rising sea levels. But in Splatoon 3, it confirmed something. It turns out a few humans did survive. They found shelter in a hollowed-out volcano and began recreating the Earth that they knew and loved. They named their new home Alterna, a replica of Earth made of fake snow, 3D printed Easter Island heads, and a liquid crystal screen dome made out of, squids. I swear I'm not making this up. A team of young scientists wanted to see the outside world for the first time. Despite the Elder's warnings, they built a rocket ship to escape Alterna. However, the energy from the rocket boosters overloaded the cavern's liquid crystals, and a chain reaction ensues. The inner walls of Alterna started to crumble, crushing everyone inside. However, the liquid crystals made by the humans retained their feelings, and all the sea creatures absorbed them. This would cause them to evolve and adapt into human life, which led to the creation of the Inklings and Octolings.
But what does all that apocalyptic hocus pocus have to do with this Mr. Grizz person caricature that we're supposed to hate?
Patience, Fanatic. We're getting there. If you beat the level after Alterna, which can only be unlocked after beating the final boss, you'll obtain a secret log about Mr. Grizz. Before the apocalypse started, a rocket ship named the Ark Polaris was launched with the bear placed in a cold sleep. Their goal was to find another planet to replace Earth. However, the rocket approached the edge of the solar system. The crew tried to turn the ship around and head back, but the ship ran out of fuel, leaving the bear drifting into space for 10,000 years. Over time, the rocket was caught in Earth's gravitational pull, and the bear finally woke up, realizing he's back on Earth, but this Earth has changed. There were sea creatures everywhere, with no mammals in sight. The bear would soon discover Alterna, now a wasteland, and began researching one of the liquid crystals. Using the crystals and his own fur, he created a sustenance that would turn anyone into mammals. With this, he could bring mammals back to Earth, but to make more of that ooze, he would need a large quantity of power sources. Golden eggs! So he made Grizzco Industries, hired a bunch of Inklings and Octolings to work for him, and started collecting these golden eggs to make more of that terrifying fuzzy ooze. Let me just say, when I first read that log, I felt a shiver down my spine.
Actually, that's just Barnaby giving you that look again.
During the event of the story mode, Captain Cuttlefish goes missing, and while you're searching for him in Alterna, you hear Mr. Grizz doing something to him, and by the time you find him, he's dead! Okay, not really, he's fine. Mr. Grizz is the bad guy all along! Now I feel ashamed for being obsessed with Salmon Run!
Not me, I'm too busy being a mercenary. We're in the middle of an invasion.
But back then, nobody knew about this. In Splatoon 2, nobody questioned why Mr. Grizz wanted those golden eggs. There was not enough evidence to show why he needed them. But after fighting him in the story and reading the log, it all makes sense now. Mr. Grizz wants to get rid of all sea creatures and hopes to restore the mammal population. No wonder why the marketing says creating a better future. It's a better future for him. Mr. Grizz tasks us to collect golden eggs, and he uses them to make the fuzzy ooze to bring mammals back. How did I not see this coming? But don't worry. Even if you beat Mr. Grizz in the story mode, Salmon Run will still be open. The only thing that changes is his radio. A fish holding a bear by its mouth? Oh, the irony!
Wow, a gajillion years floating around in space must have made that bear crazy. So now that we know a brief history behind the Salmonids and Grisco, what do we expect to see when on the battlefield taking these fish head on? In part 2, Matt and I will unlock the secrets behind each Salmonid. The good, the bad, and the eggly. Oh my gosh, not that good, bad, and eggly. Get real. Anyways, let's get that to be continued label out of the way. There we go. Like, subscribe, follow me on everything. Bye for now.